wait now for November 18, a brand new venue, Melbourne's Festival Hall, the House of Stoush. Samantha, we're going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait. HEX 28. If this was anything to go by, that one is going to be huge.
Harry Webb, what a prospect. 23 years old, 23 years young, I should say. Really looking forward to seeing him in action at HEX. Guys, if you're interested, we'll drop Harry's details in the caption below. Follow him on Instagram, buy one of his supporter tees, and while you're at it, get a ticket to HEX because I've heard it's 85% sold out. Get yourself a ticket and we'll see you there.
Channel's just getting started, so make sure you hit us a sub and a like down and below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the interview.
I don't think that he's going to go to sleep yet.
And that should do it for the man from Ballarat.
Joining us now is Harry Webb, undefeated mixed martial artist. He's looking for his third win as a pro. How you going, Harry?
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me on.
No worries, dude.
Good to have you on, mate. How's things tracking towards HEX on November 18th, mate? How's the camp been?
Yeah, camp's been awesome. Fight got announced about 10 weeks out, so I was in Thailand at the time, doing some training over there, and got back. I think we had 8 weeks, so yeah, it's been a solid camp, and now we're 3 weeks out and I'm feeling ready to go. So
yeah, sweet, dude. I was looking at your opponent. You pronounce it Niam Stephen?
I'm not 100% on the pronunciation. It's either Niam or Nam. So yeah.
I was looking at one of his opponents that he had, Tom Nolan, who was on the Contender Series.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that fight with Tom? Did you take anything from that?
Yeah, actually, I was watching it live at home when it happened. It was a couple of years ago maybe, or a year ago around that. That was before I went pro, obviously, and yeah, Tom Nolan's obviously he's a beast, so he's in the UFC now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Niam, he hasn't lost anyone bad, like all the guys he's lost to. He's got 3 losses on his record, but they're all against good guys. So, I'm expecting a good fight. And actually, when I made my debut in May on Eternal, he was the fight after me against Kobe Porter, who my guy Luke Daly, he's fighting next weekend. So. So it's pretty cool that me and Luke, we both got to fight the both of them when we're training partners. So, yeah.
Kind of makes you Eskimo brothers.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, mate. I mean, taking a look at your amateur record, 7 fights as an amateur, and you're only 23 years young. 6 of those are finishes. What was it like, I guess, transitioning from that into the big show at Eternal? I think before that you had only fought at home, but that show was in the Goldie.
Yeah, so that was it was a cool experience flying up to Queensland to fight. It was sort of like a bit of a holiday, but we're going to fight as business as well. So the whole experience, it was awesome, like just getting out of home, and obviously I knew it was a big opportunity fighting on Eternal and on Fight Pass and making my debut and against Ollie Schmidt, who was a beast as well. So I was a bit more nervous for that one. In the lead up, but it was only short notice too. We had 3 weeks to prepare, but I think for me, the more nervous I am and the bigger the stage, the better I perform, sort of thing. So yeah, because there's been a couple of fights where I thought, like in the back of my mind, I sort of knew that I felt like I was definitely better than them and I should win, and they were probably the fights where I might have struggled a little bit more. But the fights that I thought like, okay, this guy's definitely good. He's going to be a tough fight. Like they're the ones where I've done the best, I feel like.
Yeah, even looking at guys that have fought in HEX before, the people that have made it so far, like your Izzy's and Kai Kara Francis and stuff like that. I remember watching Kai years ago, and he used to say that like that was his big stage, right? So yeah. I think watching their performances as well, like Kai knocking dudes out in HEX, and then seeing where that propelled him into the UFC. Do you see that as more of an opportunity than a worrying thing, like going onto a stage like this?
But I love that sort of like the bigger the platform, the more eyes on it and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I love it. Like the attention you get after the fights, it's awesome. So,
yeah. Going back to what you said about the nerves, like I've only fought once. I'm 31 years old, so I think I'm pushing it at this point. If I was to go again, but I get the itch every now and then. But I fought a year ago on Super Fight, just about a year ago, and I remember talking to Frank a week out, starting the weight cut, getting through it, and I quietly, secretly said to him, mate, I can't fucking wait till this is over. I can't fucking wait till this is over. Like, and then, turn up, my heart's beating, I warm up, the adrenaline hits you, a big smile on my face, I do the walkout. Thankfully for me, the fight lasted 18 seconds and I got the win by first round knockout.
Nice. Nice, bro.
But took a while to come down after that, but I fight better when I'm nervous, I think, as well. I do anything better when I'm a little bit unprepared or feel like I'm a little bit unprepared, and that stress just becomes fuel.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said about the wanting to be over, for sure. Like my first fight, I was like about 3 weeks out. I think I was thinking, oh, I can't wait for this just to be over. Like the nerves and that was just crazy dealing with that. But obviously, the more experience you get, it gets a lot easier. And I don't feel like that anymore. Usually, like now, I'm just more excited to get in and fight. And like I am for this next one, that's 3 weeks out, and you know the nerves don't really hit me as much anymore till like fight week or on the fight day. So yeah, and get just experience main thing.
Yeah, beauty, man. Get one in before Chrissy and then be able to chill out towards the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. That was the plan. Have a big feast and Christmas and not have to worry about my weight. So
yeah, good segue, I reckon. What's the first post-fight meal that you usually go to?
It's always different, like depending on where we're fighting, and always different on depending on what I've been craving during the camp. Like I always just start craving random foods, you know, like things that I wouldn't usually have when I'm not dieting. So like a big one is like donuts and pancakes. Like I don't know what, I think it must be the carbs, and because my body knows it's that easy source of fuel. But for this one, I booked in with my missus to go to this Mexican place called Bodega Underground. So seen some TikToks, and they look like they got those birria tacos, and they look pretty good. So keen to get into some of them.
Donuts and pancakes, man. That's a slow Tuesday for you, hey Caesar?
I've been good lately, Frank. I've been good lately. But pizza's my weakness, Harry. I'm a fiend for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's probably my favourite meal, savoury meal, 100%.
A nice dirty, quiet. Get a pizza to yourself at home. Don't move.
And that's the other thing. Like if I'm getting pizza, I want it to be like a dirty, greasy pizza, not just like you go out and you get a wood-fired pizza and it's a bit fancy and that. But I want some like greasy Aussie pizza with like heaps of ham or something on it.
Yeah. One thing I've learned is wood-fired pizza doesn't travel well. If you get a traditional pizza, it's delivered to your door. It's banging. It's banging.
Yeah,
you get a
100%.
wood-fired pizza, it turns up and it's sliding out of the box already. You know,
yeah,
it's
like cardboard.
We saw on your Insta the other day that you got a couple of new pre-fight gifts as well, UFC 5 and Spiderman.
Yeah, a bit of early birthday present. So that's what I've been doing this weekend, just sitting on the couch. I haven't really moved too far from here. So I haven't played much of the UFC 5 yet, but I've just been playing Spiderman, which is pretty sick. So UFC 5, I get a bit frustrated playing UFC.
I was going to ask if you're any good at it, because I suck at it, man.
I am alright at it. Like I was pretty good at the UFC 4, but I'm only good at PlayStation games when I've been playing them consistently.
Yeah.
So if I have a few months off and I get back on and I just get smoked, I just get so angry. So I just tend to stay away from it. So
we used to be avid Fortnite players back in the pandemic, back in COVID times. We'd be on there, we'd be crushing it, and then we'd go away for a couple of months. We'd come back, we've got no idea what we're doing. We're losing to 10-year-olds and raging and throwing controllers at the wall.
That's the thing. It's the same with Call of Duty. Every year, I'm like, I'm not even going to get this game. I'm not going to get it. And then my mates will be like, bro, you got to get the new COD. And I'm like, all right. So I get sucked in, play it for like probably 2 to 4 weeks, get somewhat decent at it, and then I'll have like a week off and I'll just get smoked. So yeah, I'll just end up quitting and don't play it again.
Going back to your missus and I guess your family and everything like that, what's it like for them having someone that's 23 years old, 9 fights under the belt, going pro, bursting on the big scene? Does your missus handle it well? What's she like?
Yeah, she's pretty cool. Like she's pretty good with it. So she was we moved in together like 2 years ago, just as housemates, and I didn't know her before that. And then, we stayed housemates for a year, and then eventually we got together. And so she, we were mates before that, so she'd watch my fights and sort of understand like my training and all that sort of thing. So she's always been super supportive, never complained about me training and anything like that. And yeah, she always comes and watches. She obviously she's always worried about me getting hurt and that sort of thing. But and same with mum and dad. They all come to all of my fights. Flew up to Queensland to watch me fight. And when I was living at home, they were awesome. Like they'd always cook my meals for me, take all the stress off me when I was in training camp. And yeah, they've all been really good. And obviously, like mum, she used to always take me to the karate tournaments when I was younger, and so she's like sort of experienced me like competing that all the time and pretty regularly. So she wasn't like as nervous as I think my dad was at the start. He was sort of like oh, why the fuck are you doing that for? Like that sort of thing. You know, I was
yeah.
But once he saw how like serious I took it and that, he's just been nothing but supportive ever since. So
No, that's sick, man. That's so good to have like the support of your family and your girl as well. Like, obviously, that's just something that you don't really have to worry about. You know, was there anything that an alternate route for you other than MMA? Like, you know, your parents and your girl and stuff. They usually people can sway you into other jobs, or was there something that was on the cards before it?
No, not really. Like I used to work at Macca's, and ever since I was about 17, 18, all I wanted to do was just fight. So I would even tailor my work to my fighting. So like I worked at Macca's, and then just purely because it worked well with training, like I could go work whenever, like whatever hours would suit my training schedule. And then obviously when I moved out, I needed a bit more money, so I ended up getting a full-time job. But I work at Reece Plumbing, and they've always been supportive of my training as well. Like I'm out the door at 3:30 every day, never doing any overtime or anything like that. So yeah, like at one stage I tried a plumbing apprenticeship or a trial, and I did about 3 weeks, and I just realized like this wasn't for me, like staying back and that sort of thing. I need to get out and go training. So I had no interest in it really, and I just needed to get something that suited me.
Sounds a bit like McGregor. I believe he was a plumber at some point, and was about to go all into it. You know, sounds almost like the same. Like you're 23, you're bursting on the scene here. This is your Cage Warriors almost. You know, what sort of drew you to the sport? Do you have any fighters that maybe ticked you and inspired you to get real serious about it, or what happened there?
Yeah, for sure. It was Conor McGregor. He was huge in me starting MMA. Because to be honest, I didn't even really watch UFC or anything like that growing up. Even I did karate and that sort of thing, but it wasn't until my mate Bailey, he was like into UFC, and this is when McGregor was just sort of coming into the sport, and like I think it was around the time where he fought Chad Mendes.
Oh yeah.
And then I was watching his videos on YouTube, and then I hit up Bailey. I was like, we got to start training, bro, and he's like, yeah, sweet. So we found the gym, Infinite, where I'm still at now, the only MMA gym in Ballarat. And yeah, pretty much like I started training. A funny story, like we used to train after school, and we had like a couple of hours between because we're both like living out of town, and we couldn't go home beforehand. So we used to take our Sting bag mitts, like, you know, our bag mitts have got like no padding.
Yeah.
We used to take our bag mitts, go down the back of the school, and pretty much just punch on, like, while we're waiting to go to training. So, and then it was only like 2 months or something like that into training where this opportunity came up to do this MMA academy, and it was like sort of like a diploma, but the subject was MMA. So we'd go train in the morning and just do like theory in the afternoon. And that was pretty cool. Like that was in Melbourne, so I left school to go do that in year 11. And then, but at the same time, I started to get into like lifting weights, and I was still playing footy, so I was sort of juggling a few things at the time, and I wasn't 100% committed to MMA. And then it wasn't until I turned 18 where I decided I'm just going to commit 100% when I get my license and go to training every single day. So
that's awesome. How is Infinite MMA going there? Like, I don't want to sound ignorant, but trying to recall, like, has there been someone that's broken out? Who are your training partners? Or any other big stars there?
So the first sort of guy they had was Sam Haywood. He now has his own gym at Combat One, and he was the first, I think the first pro coming out of Infinite, but he's been gone for a few years now. So then we had a pretty small sort of fight team, like all of us amateurs, all around sort of the similar weight classes. And so we got me and Luke Daly as pros now, and Daly's fighting on Eternal next weekend. It's his third pro fight as well. And then in the amateurs, we got Michael Allsop, Winona Greenhall, Bailey Andrews, and Sam Matheson. So there's about 5-6 of us in the fight team at the moment, and we're just building. Like, we're early stages, but we're all just building at the moment. So yeah, and at the moment we got 3 of us fighting in the next month, so the vibes at the gym have been good.
Awesome. What's the relationship like with John Campbell? You've been with him for a while now, right?
Yeah, good. So yeah, when I first started, he was coaching there, and you got to show that you consistent, you're not going to get attention straight away. But then once you realise like that you're going to be there all the time and that sort of thing, he'll start giving you the attention. And he's the best. Like, I couldn't fight under anyone else. Like, me and him just we just click as a team, and he's taught me everything I know pretty much. So yeah, we got a good synergy, and we got a good thing going. So yeah, it's really good.
That's so good you got that already, man. Just like even being so young and stuff, just having a coach that you can trust and work with and feel like you've got a good solid base under you already.
Yeah, for sure. Like he knows my game as well as I know my game. So like game planning for fights and everything, he's all over it. Like we'll get the opponent offer, and then he'll be sending me messages at 1 a.m, like videos of like making edits on his phone to breakdowns and things like that. So yeah, it's the best. And then pretty much the whole fight camp is like all the drills, everything is based on like the upcoming fight. So that's why when it comes fight time, it all just comes out naturally.
Reminds me of that meme where the guy's lying in bed and the missus is like, he's probably getting messaged by other girls here, and it's 1 a.m. And it's actually John Campbell.
Exactly what it is.
I don't know if there's a better segue than young athletic professionals than segueing into Brendan Favola, steamrolling onto your card. So, could you give us anything on
this?
This
show?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I don't really know anything about it, but my theory is they've got an opponent already, and because I just can't see them just picking some random person to fight them like that.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are. Like, you're just not going to get hurt.
Weighing
and
in,
I'm not
all
actually
that stuff.
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure any of the details. Like, I'm not sure if it's an actual MMA fight or what. So, yeah, my guess is as good as yours, really.
Have you got your own team that you support in AFL, being from Melbourne?
Yeah, I go for the Dogs. So, disappointing year, but I'm not huge into it. I used to be. Like, I used to love footy. There was actually a stage where I probably wanted to play AFL.
Yeah.
But now I just don't really get into it as much. Like, I played Supercoach this year, and that probably got me into it a little bit more. But yeah, I just struggle to follow it.
We couldn't find it on your last walkout anywhere online, what your actual walkout song was before, but have you got one lined up?
No, that's it. Yeah, see, I can't decide like too far out because I'll listen to it too much and get sick of it.
Yeah.
And usually I'll just run with whatever I'm feeling at the time. So last time it was Meltdown by Drake and Travis Scott, but something happened with the audio and I couldn't even hear the song like playing when I was walking out. So hopefully this time at Festival Hall it should be all sweet. But yeah, I still haven't decided on what I'm gonna walk out to.
Nice.
I like the Kanye West has some good songs to walk out. So I've walked out to Run This Town by Jay-Z and Can't Tell Me Nothing. I've walked out to those both twice. So
good picks.
Run This Town's classic. Jose Aldo walkout. So
that's it, man. That's the first person I thought of just then.
So what's your weight cutting process like? Is it you more of a bath guy or a sauna guy?
I think the bath is more comfortable. Sauna, I've only used a sauna once, but yeah, I think the bath is the way to go for sure. I work with the fight dietitian, or the combat dietitian, Laura, or Lauren, and yeah, so she gets me pretty close to the weight, and I don't really usually cut that much on fight week, so it's pretty cruisy for me really. And I sort of like to maintain my weight all round. Like I don't get too heavy in between fights. Just more of a discipline thing. But yeah, because I prefer my fight game not to be based around making weight.
Just let the science do it. Just do what you have to do. Check it off. Follow the process.
Yeah, and I feel like if you don't have to change your diet too much between like out of camp and in camp, like it makes it feel like less of a diet sort of thing. So I like
more
to
of a
eat
lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously on the weekends when I'm out of camp, that's when I like to dig into some good food.
Do you ever come around this way much, around the city at all?
Nah, not really. Like when I only when I have my fights, and if I'm out of camp, I might go down with my girl, stay in Melbourne or something for the night. But after this one, I'm staying in Melbourne for 2 nights, so I want to check out some restaurants if I can find some good ones. If you got any recommendations?
Oh mate, you stole the words out of my mouth really. Me and Frank were talking about Marble Steakhouse on last week's episode, and it's just in Paran. best steak I've ever had in my life. Absolutely. And we said if Harry Webb gets the win, we'll get him the ribeye off the bone.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I think I've seen the photo of it, and that looked unreal.
Yeah.
I've actually been craving a big steak too, so yeah, might work out well.
Perfect,
Look forward to the post-fight then, after the post-fight victory.
Yes, I have to go get some steaks.
You know, enjoy the last hard week of training and enjoy the weight cut. I'm sure you'll be right. We'll be there in attendance, mate. So we're keen to get there, keen to see you in action, and keen to continue on this journey for you. We'll get you back in the booth for the post-fight interview, talk about the win, talk about the food, bring it all back together. How's that sound?
Hell yeah, boys. Thanks for the interview. It was awesome.
No worries. Good luck,
No worries,
brother.
mate.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck, mate.